I'm sure that all of us can say that at least once in our lifetime we have wished that we could travel into the past, perhaps to change something we did, or to relive an experience. We might have also once thought, what would be in 10, 20, 30 years? Would we travel to the future to meet ourselves and to have a conversation with ourselves? What if this could all be possible? One day it could be, through the theory of time travel. This theory was first brought up by Albert Einstein, one of the world's greatest geniuses to ever live. Since this idea was brought up, scientists have worked countless hours to build the world's first time machine. In reality, it is not an easy task. In the book Physics of the Impossible by Michio Kaku, it explains the technology needed will only be present in a Type 3 civilization. Currently, we are in a Type 0 civilization. They're classified as how we use our energy. And it's said that in 200 to 300 years, we will move up to a Type 1 civilization. Today, I will be informing you on the idea of time travel. First, I will be giving you some background information, and I will tell you about experiments. Second, I will talk about time travel to the future, and finally, I will be informing you of time travel to the past. The theory of time travel has evolved over the years, getting scientists one step closer to solving this great mystery. The theory of time travel came about around 70 years ago. But first, to understand time travel, we must first understand time and how it works. In an article from the popular science magazine, Einstein offered an answer in 1905. He said that clocks moving in motion would move slower than a clock that is stationary. And there was actually an experiment done in 1971 by two scientists, Joe Happel and Richard Caden. This is explained in the book Breaking the Time Barrier by Jenny Randles. And the two scientists had two super clocks, one that was left on Earth and one was placed on a jet. The jet then traveled east so that the Earth would help push it faster as it rotated. And they did find out that the clock on the jet moved slower than the clock that was left on Earth. As for time traveling to the past, there aren't experiments that can be done. They're based more on theories. One of the first plausible ideas was actually done by a mathematician named Kurt Gödel. He said that if the universe was in rotation, that we could travel to yesterday by going a certain distance, a certain speed, and a certain way. But even though his math was found to be perfect, the universe actually does not rotate. As theories are being shut down, more and more are being brought forth. Now I will explain the first type of time travel. That's time travel to the past and to the future. There are different theories proposed to how this is the simpler form of time travel because actually we have modern day time travelers. In the documentary series Through the Wormhole, Sergei Krikalev has spent 803 days in space, more than anyone has ever spent. He travels at 17,000 miles per hour, and he has aged a 48th of a second slower than we have on Earth. The speed of light is 671 million miles per hour, and if we traveled at 1 year at that speed, everyone on Earth would have aged 10 years. The problem with that is that there is not enough energy to push a spaceship to that velocity, because the faster we go, the heavier we become. There is though a new invention that has come up in the science world. It's called the Large Hadron Collider, and it's a circular object or tube essentially, and they put two particles traveling in opposite directions near the speed of light, and they collide them. This will bring us closer to understanding how time travel works, because the laws that work with these particles we can relate to the laws that will that work in our universe. For my final main point, I will explain time travel to the past. There are different theories proposed to how past time travel can work. One method is through a wormhole. In the documentary series Into the Universe, Stephen Hawking explains how he set up an experiment. He set up a party and didn't tell anybody about it, and he put the exact coordinates of where this party took place. And then he waited to see if future time travelers would then appear to his party, but no one appeared. His explanation for how the wormhole doesn't work is because it causes a feedback, and the wormhole essentially destroys itself before anyone could enter. There is also another theory that why we don't encounter modern day time travelers in our world is because we have not invented a time machine. Because when we do invent a time machine, it will then cause a loop in time, and we could only then travel to that point, no further beyond that point. And the final way is black hole. But most scientists disregard this because they do not know enough about black holes, and they say that if you enter it, then you will just be crushed, or that it's like a one-way street, except you won't be able to escape it. Once thought to only be science fiction, time travel has now evolved into a subject of high regard in the scientific community, starting with Albert Einstein, father of time travel, when he proposed a theory that changed the world of physics. Experiments have brought us closer to understanding and achieving the impossible. We know how to time travel into the past, into the future. The only problem is we don't have sufficient energy to do so. And as for the future, we have ideas, but nothing has yet to be proven.